Upon this late fall day, the rain is pouring quite a bit. It wets the likes of nearby and even more so, stains the barely live vegetation outside these metal walls. Speaking of which, the both of you find yourself on the last train to Stillheoul for the year. Awfully convenient. People are afraid of the winters around these parts. Both of you are getting on this train for your own reasons in order to accomplish your own goals. You aren't alone, though. Accompanying your passenger car would be a few peculiar figures and even more nameless faces. Some of these unique faces involve a rather average-looking blonde man in a full trench coat and coated hat, though the peculiarity comes from his hand, this colorful 27-squared cube that seemed to rotate in his hands whilst he moved it and pushed it or pulled it. Another one of these weird, much more unsettling faces would be this man in what seemed to be Victorian or medieval rags. Nothing across his chest with tanned skin, as instead he wore deep scars that stained his tissue pure white. Upon his back, this unreasonably sized blade that had to weigh maybe 20 or 30 pounds, wrapped in similar rags to what he was wearing. Most unsettling of all was the way he seemed to lack the skin on his lips, instead of being red and raw, looking like a burn victim. The last and likely least eye-catching would be this tall figure clad in almost butler-like attire, long white hair and two wings across his face, as currently he'd be wiping a greenish stain off of his glasses before readjusting him. The weird aspect of this man was that he seemed to carry a couple of novels in a satchel with titles like To Kill a Beast, Parallels Between Assassins and Hunters, or To Butcher Sapiens, A Guide to Eating Monkeys. The train ride would go rather smoothly as you'd hear the intercom come on in the next moment. Apologies, but due to some of the weather conditions slicking the tracks, we've been advised to slow our speed. It's likely we'll arrive in the city an hour or so late. Please stand by for further announcements. After that, the intercom would come back off with that sound fading out afterwards. There weren't many others on the train car, maybe 10 in total, but the others are faceless. Instead, we focus in on Jericho?
Jericho? More like Jared. That's the name. At least nobody really called him Jericho aside from his close friends and acquaintances. So hopefully nobody would be calling him that in the train. But aside from not really knowing too much about Stillheoul, didn't grow up in the city, only heard about everything outside of it. And actually getting there on the last train of all things, still considered a coincidence that he's even here to begin with. He thought they would just straight up deny him, but he's got to take his chance now, or he'll just be back to being a good old summer baseball teacher, coach, getting the youngins to show out how to swing a bat or two, hit the curveballs, everything like that. But for as average and normal as Jared may appear, wearing his trench coat, cap, and scarf, there were not so average people among the train with him. Referencing that man with no shirt, Gars. He had a guy with what seemed to be a cube. Not sure what they call it at Rubik's, maybe? Who knows? You could care less. Now that I thought about it, he was wondering what the exams would even be at this point. They actually missed it, if anything, so were they going to do a test? Or what was the test to begin with? Written, physical, maybe even a specialty. Open-ended. Result. Regardless, whatever it was, he needed to pivot fast, or he wasn't doing much there. But He wasn't seeing much in it for him to begin with. If he wasn't a hunter, then what was he? Outside of some dude that knew how to play ball. That being said, he would try to observe the train car a little more further, outside of the individuals that already caught his eye. Anyone beside him?
Wait,
Like beside you on the seat, like seat right next to you, or like across from you beside you, or like
Side
seats
across, it
adjacent?
doesn't matter. Adjacent. Anybody he could have some type of conversation with, outside of the mean mugging people.
Well, just to make sure with the Apollons, no one's sitting like in the seat next to his seat, right?
It's a relatively empty train car, except for those named. You had space between each of you. If everyone wanted, you could sit 3 seats apart or just stand up on your own.
Oh, okay. Wow, it is an empty. Okay. The seat next to you, across from you, I guess, was occupied by another strange-looking individual, someone who kind of stuck out, which was really an understatement. On top of her head was moth antennas and very bright white hair, which certainly didn't suit the times, other than maybe the dude with the monkey eating guide. She didn't pay you any mind. She was more focused on eyeing said monkey eating guide men, and more specifically the books that he had. She seemed to be trying to read the titles, and next to her was a long, leathery satchel. Looked kind of like what you'd hold a music stand in, but like a lot longer, and another leather bag full of something. You couldn't really see through it, other than maybe a few holes where you could see some silver something. Or, not silver, sorry. Iron something in it. She herself was wearing a black bodysuit of sorts. Maybe if you were to start a conversation, she'd have something interesting to say.
Passive with it. Gosh.
Oh shit. Shit!
What?
I had to go get the rest.
Yeah. Okay.
You too have to get your rest.
Yeah, you're right. The more Jared stared at the other occupants, the more he worried for himself. Now he thought about it. Did he have everything he needed? Other than, well, his trench coat, check. His cap. Not that it wasn't really much of any significance, just there for, fashion. And a scarf. But outside of that, he had what appeared to be a messenger bag. And sticking out of it, a rather oak tan shaft. You can only assume it would be a bat. That's for him to know and you to find out. Oh my goodness gracious.
Around the train car, people were generally disgruntled from the likes of the unfortunate announcement. Some even began to move up and likely complain to a conductor or maybe grab a snack from a hostess. You were in the far back of this train as there were 4 train cars ahead of you, then the conductor's booth. It wasn't the most high-quality Iron Snake. The leather chairs you'd find yourself sitting in being torn slightly with stuffing seeping out. Maybe there was trash or even occasionally a piece of glass left by another passenger on the floor. The windows were particularly foggy and thick, leaving you to get a blurred vision of the outside being pelted by rain. Though for a moment you get a bit of sun glare lighting up the train before it entered into a tunnel, temporarily blinding the likes of you for maybe a couple of seconds before once more you'd return to the outside. You'd see a massive field of dying crops with the coming of winter and the ending of fall. Now left in this train car were 5 of you.
Well, no one else was going to bring it up than he was, so after clearing his throat and garnering hopefully some people's attention, he thought he would bring it to their... He had a question in mind. Do any of you know what we're going to do? I'm assuming we're all just some band of misfits, but I'm pretty sure we all missed the exam, right?
The lady with the antennas, as I guess I'm gonna call her until you get her name, kind of looked over at you and raised a brow, pondered for a moment. Maybe she had the sparks of an idea. Maybe her brain cells were colliding, and then she just looked away and looked back out the window, preferring not to think about her late arrival and all of the time it took to get here and all the money and the odd jobs and oh man.
The man with the Rubik's Cube would speak up, putting it off to the side as the white, sort of bandaged hands would motion towards you, baseball player. You must have missed the exam. I was there. I'm simply returning to this city after quite some time. Saying your intent out loud, though, is awfully brave.
Well, just had to make sure we're all on the same playing field, that's all. But, you know, now that you say it, probably not the smartest idea to let you guys know I'm not on the same level, no?
Certainly one way to phrase it.
Yeah. Not proud about it exactly, but you know, I'm sure I'll find out a way. Never can really know what they're up to with the organization and all their tests.
I doubt you'll have a
I heard
test
some-
on this train.
Yeah. Who knows, maybe this is a test itself, honestly. Train slowing down, it might take a while. You know, some things could happen here and there. It's not uncommon, though, for some people to lose their lives trying to get lessons.
You would see as the man with scars across his skin would stand up, beginning to move into the next train car over, disinterested with the conversation. The man with the Rubik's Cube watching him on his way out. Freak.
Did I say something? Nah, don't worry about it. Anything I need to worry about? You perhaps know any places in Stillheoul? You said you're returning. You know, something like a hotel or an inn, or maybe even some places to catch up on some info.
Some intel. You're asking it also casually.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to get myself out there, you know? Branch out and get my network going. There's no other way about it.
Intriguing. And what exactly do you provide in this network?
Well, I don't really have anything set up too far yet, but I was hoping maybe I could get myself on my own 2 feet first, and then maybe, I don't know, start entrepreneuring a little bit, set up an organization. Those with the youth in mind.
I suppose a good place that I'd recommend you for some intel, as he did finger quotes in the air, I would recommend you to Ale Mary's, the pub and inn. Careful though,
Mhm.
they bite.
Oh. Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. What do they do around there, though?
It's a sort of western bar. Uncouth, I could say.
Uncouth, sir. Yeah, Mary. You could watch as he would take out a flip note and start to write this down just a little bit, documenting it for later. It's alright. I'm not really the brawling type, but it's nothing now. Sure, I could hold up against it.
Are you and the woman traveling together? A maid?
Her
Nah.
little antennas, like, flittered a little as she looked over and, like, pointed at herself with, like, a confused expression.
I don't imagine someone of your stature, as he gave you an up-down, would be taking the likes of the hunter's exam.
Her eyes kind of narrowed. This time she actually spoke up. What is that supposed to mean?
Means you have a poor stature.
She kind of looked down at herself. I'm in peak physical condition. What are you on about?
You'd see that idle look across his face turn more into a bit of a, I would say, solemn smile. The same kind of smile you get when you give that dog euthanasia. Yes, sure. Quite. Oh, so I assume you're another one of those test takers.
Well, would have been if I didn't take too long getting here.
Wonderful.
But that's the intent. She kind of like scratched the back of her neck idly and looked around the rest of the train car, now really realizing just how empty it was beginning to get. Now occupied by the dude with the weird stick in his bag, the dude with the rainbow cube, whatever magical contraption that was, and the dude with the monkey eating guide.
You hadn't answered my question, though. Are you traveling together?
Not
I've
exactly.
never seen that man before in my life.
Peculiar.
Mm.
What convenient timing that two of our test takers begin to warp onto the last train to Stillheoul at the same time. Coincidence. I love coincidences. They're one of life's favorite mysteries.
Yeah, it's a rather fickle one, though. You could only imagine what would happen if, I actually got to the exam on time.
Her head kind of
What?
tilted. Coincidence is odd as well. I think it's pretty reasonable, no? I mean, it's a big exam. Some
6
people are
months
just
late.
late. Some people
Yeah.
have traveling restrictions. Something a
And
hunter's license might assist with. No? I mean, I don't see the complication here.
I don't know, other than it being like the biggest thing ever, only happens once a year. I get what you're saying, where you're coming
but I
from.
had reasons not to get here on time.
Well,
Mhm.
how special you are that you could evade the hunter's exam.
Ooh, that might have been one of the rounds now I think about it. Evading capture.
Pardon?
No, I was just talking about the test himself. But I wouldn't know. Don't have any experience. First time test goer right here. And I'm already late. So it doesn't make anything better for me.
Don't I hear a fun fact?
Go ahead.
the hunter exam rookies, about 1 in 100,000 pass every year. And about 1,000 of those die, never to take the test again. Isn't that interesting?
Now that he thought about it, yeah, it was. But also, was it worth risking your life? Some yes, to others no. Me personally, yeah. It's do or die. Some people don't have an option. Or they think it's the only option they have.
The woman seemed to still be grappling with the numbers.
I must admit, statistics is one of my favorite things in this world. It's one of the only things that stay consistent. It's one of the only things that can give you an accurate measurement of scientific data. May I ask, what is both of your names?
Well, she's trying to put it into scope. Name's Jared. Jared Alabaster.
Jared Alabaster. A wonderful name.
And you are?
L. Yeah, L. That's the best translation I've got right now.
Is that like Elias or something, or?
No, just L. That's my name. It's L. I don't know. I didn't choose it. She kind of like she talked with her hands a lot and motioned around to kind of show like I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Whatever hand motions you would think that would go with. I can't turn my. I don't have a webcam.
Well, L, it's nice to meet you. And you are, you would say, looking over to the Rubik's Cubes, man.
You may call me Lumos. I'm one of the detectives re-entering Stillheoul.
Ooh. Good to know, good to know. You do a lot of cases here, or? I don't only imagine.
At all.
Sounds pretty slow.
Over here, some interesting things have been happening, to say the least. It is unfortunate in which the deaths that are occurring, and it's even more unfortunate that the incompetencies of our own detectives agencies in Stillheoul have not solved a single thing. Not only am I here to deal with their cases for them because they're failures, but I'm here to investigate potential corruption in the city.
Corruption, is that like a normal issue, or like?
Well, I could imagine only
things...
if, like, some humpers were mixed into it. That definitely raised the question if they should still have their license or not.
I mean, if it's the hunter's license is as prestigious and amazing as it really is, and is talked about, then I wouldn't be surprised if they themselves were causing the corruption. I mean, you can go anywhere you want, do anything you want.
L.
Well, it's...
Yeah.
I would assume it would be common knowledge. If you didn't have anything stopping you from doing something, why wouldn't you do it?
Well, because all hunters do have something stopping them. Not only their own moral code, but one of the hunter bylaws is that you mustn't let another hunter go too far.
But what determines too far?
The hunter themselves. It's a barbaric system, true, but one that works in this world.
A lot of trust to be thrown around, but yeah, I could only imagine that, the heavyweights, they figure it out some way, somehow. I know I wouldn't trust somebody not to cheat in a game of ball, so think they'd be more maybe fail-safes in place, but if it works, it works.
If one person cheats, then it is the duty of another to, I suppose, outperform them. You would see as the detective would twist one of the corners on the Rubik's Cube, finishing the puzzle. Would you agree?
I mean, there's not many other options, and I guess it would only make sense.
Playing fair does not lead to victory. That's naivety.
Yeah.
I mean,
What if a
especially
hunter
if
had to...
everybody-
Go ahead.
Especially if everyone dictates everyone else's actions, and yeah, I guess playing fair wouldn't really work at all. I mean, whose rules are you following? Are you following that guy's rules or that guy's rules? Or maybe this guy's rules? So there's really no rules, and if there's no rules and there's no fair, and there's no fair, then... She kind of shrugged.
The only rules in which you should follow are your own.
I bet that means there's a lot of drama on the scene then, everybody declaring what should be what. But purely out of their own selfish desires, no?
It is an interesting abnormality inside of this city. There's one agreeable, I suppose you could say, bad person in the city. It's not exactly up for debate.
That being...
I'm surprised you haven't done your research entering this city. Have you heard of the Angler?
The Angler.
The Angler.
Like a fisherman?
No. He goes by another name, the Sea King.
So, like a prestigious fisherman.
No. It's simply a title.
Is he some ringleader of some type?
See, that's the thing. It's so interesting that some people believe he's an ideology more than anything. Some people believe he is a person. Some people believe he is a thought, a belief. And the detectives of this city just can't seem to find it out.
What a song name.
Yeah. Oh, that works.
I'm curious. What, just off of your first impressions, what do you think of Stillheoul? Just from this simple train ride and what you've heard.
Well, to me, it sounds like a place of opportunity. Great opportunity, but with it, its own risks. And in that of itself, there's something more deeper at play. One that I don't inherently understand now. However, if I were to come across it, I hope I'd be prepared for the moment.
Interesting. Madame?
I mean, from everything I've heard, well, it's not the poetic answer that Sir over here gave, but I mean, it sounds kind of like fun.
Fun.
What? I didn't hear what you said.
Fun.
On.
Well, Yeah.
Hmm.
Who doesn't love a nice mystery, and who also doesn't love the allure of, or allure Uh, of trying to get a fancy little card that lets you do whatever you want, realistically. Or not anything, but most things. And yeah, sounds like fun.
What a surface level thought. A new perspective.
I didn't say something bad, did I? I would have hated to offend somebody so early.
I simply find it interesting. You would see as he would begin to rapidly mix up the Rubik's Cube in his hands, with speed that almost blurred the colors on it.
You know, I've been meaning to ask, what's up with that cube you have? Not like a traditional Rubik's, no?
That contraption has a name?
Oh yeah, well, it's usually like a common household toy called a Rubik's Cube. You know, you scramble the colors, it's a whole puzzle, and that you have to get it back to its original state.
She's looking at you like you just grew 7 heads.
My bad. Did you not grow up with any toys either?
She kind of thought for a moment before shaking her head. Nothing like that.
Hmm. Well, nothing too complex when you look at it, but it's more about, I don't know, the idea of it itself.
It is a puzzle cube.
It's a puzzle.
It is meant to be solved. You see the colors. The intent is to line up all 9 of the same colors in all 9 of the same place. There are 6 sides as it is a cube. 27 unique sides. As you would see him underhand toss it towards you.
Who is
Jared,
You. Wait,
Me?
you, uh-oh.
She would
You were to catch it.
catch it and look at it, spinning it around in her hands.
It was
So-
completely jumbled. It felt like glass in your hands. It had a bit of weight to it, maybe 3 or 4 pounds. It was awfully heavy for how small it was.
What is this thing made out of?
Glass.
Oh, you shouldn't be throwing something like that.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Glass is not as brittle as everybody makes it out to be.
She
Thick enough.
held it up in one hand and then looked over at like the train. Is the train window made of like plexiglass or is it made out of like glass? I think it's glass in this time and age, right?
Glass,
Mm.
but it is thick panes.
Yeah. Nothing thin.
She knocked on it and then lightly knocked on the Rubik's Cube. Huh. So you just shift this around a whole bunch until the colors match up.
Precisely.
Oh, like a little brain game.
That is what a puzzle is.
Exactly. It's meant to provoke the mind.
Oh, well, you learn something new every day.
I
But,
suppose you
I don't have the know-how to use this thing. So, she tossed it back over to him.
He'd catch it in his hand, sort of letting it fall back down into his lap. The other man in the train car had opened one of his novels, one that seemed unlabeled and old and rough in texture, definitely used and worn.
A man with a novel, isn't it?
2 of you are free to do as you please.
Well, it's nice meeting you, Lumos.
Likewise.
Maybe I'll run. Maybe we'll run into each other another time. Hopefully, hopefully. Hopefully you don't find me dead in the alleyway. Or a ditch.
Hopefully I won't have to investigate you.
Exactly. Missing cases. You get it. As he would stand up and move himself around the train car. Probably, well, the other guy left, so that only left him with one option. The man with the novel. Getting a closer look over there. Probably standing more than anything than taking a seat next to him. And from where he's standing, he'd like to observe, maybe see if he could tell what the guy was reading.
It was in this extremely fancified English. What you could read as you were just standing over him reading with him?
Yes, at that point, yes. Trying to follow at least where he was reading and keep
An
up before he
upside-down
flips the
angle,
page.
It was kind of difficult to read as a couple of the words you pick up in this incredibly fancy, almost doctor's handwriting. It seemed to be a journal that he was rereading. Maybe not his own, maybe his own, but it had a date in the top right. It said August 18th. The beasts outside
So that
are
implies
a bit closer today, especially in this wood line. I must admit, hunting has been more different recently. These magical creatures, I swear, they're beginning to grow along beside me. It's a bit frightening, their intelligence. As he would flip the page.
After reading that excerpt, he would look to the cover of the book itself, trying to gain its title.
It did not have a title.
Huh. So this is a journal, or so to say, than a publicized book. Well, given that he was already snooping, it wouldn't hurt to talk to the guy a little. He would, stop reading the contents of the book, just to give him a bit more privacy before outwardly asking instead. So, what you reading there?
It is a journal I picked up from a log cabin. Appears to be speaking of a time about 80 years ago. There was no one inside the cabin. It seemed abandoned. I could only assume this man's fate.
Oh, it's interesting. A little dark, but still, nonetheless, interesting. Are you indebted toward these people, or?
Not at all. Simply found it on one of my excursions.
And what do you do as an occupation? Are you an investigator just like him over there, or?
I sell meat. Animal products.
A butcher of sorts?
Of sorts.
Gotcha. Do you have an establishment in Stillheoul, or no?
Not quite yet, but I'm in contact. I am going to.
Awesome. Are you a local, or?
Not even a little bit. I come from out of state, traveling.
Well, that's something. Do you butcher creatures and monsters, or maybe your more traditional staple livestock?
Both.
So it's like some sort of delicacy among clients, or
I
is there something else?
suppose you could call it delicacy. I'd more so refer to it as convenience.
Okay. Well, I'll stop yapping your ear off. I mean, unless you have like some business card to hand me off, but you seem to be enjoying your ride. I don't want to ruin that.
He'd simply sort of look up to you. The glasses sitting upon his face were clear and square.
Could I at least get your name though before leaving you alone?
My name?
Yeah.
Fulgar. Fulgar Ovid. I'm sure you can tell I'm foreign.
Vulgar.
Well, yes, but there's no harm in that. Not a doubt about it. More places we come from, the more interesting of a background we have, and the more we realize that we're all human, no?
I suppose so.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Fulgar. You have a nice train ride now.
You as well. Jared.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yes. You must have overheard me.
It is a quiet train.
Yeah. Not many passengers back here. Especially that the other person left.
Yes, that's person.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm getting out of here now. Have a good one. As he would walk across the car once more, returning back to his original spot, maybe across from L. L? L. L just a letter, or is it EL? Regardless.
Speaking of L, you'd wait. How tall is your character?
He's like 5. Like average height. I like putting my characters at average height. He's 5'10".
5'10". Okay. You'd see right behind you was L. At some
Oh.
point, she had walked up behind you during your little conversation.
Mm.
And
Excuse me.
She stepped aside and looked over towards the meat man. Or Fulgur Ovid. Fuck you, Apollons. I know exactly who that is.
I don't.
He's a VTuber that I used to watch and he graduated.
He is?
Yes!
Hey, he's got a baller model, honestly.
He graduated. I'm so sad. Anyway.
That was actually just a straight coincidence. That's insane.
I heard Fulgur and I'm like, no way.
Oh, it's spelled differently.
Anyway.
My bad.
It's not spelled like his actual. Okay. Well, she
Crazy
walked
coincidence.
up and she cleared her throat. Fulgur, Ovid. Yeah, Fulgur Ovid, you said, right?
Yes.
And you said you sell meat, right? And including monster meat, right?
Yes.
I only have one small question. I won't bother you as long as he did. Do you hunt that yourself?
Yes.
So I take it you must have a hunter's license?
No.
Oh.
You don't need a license to hunt where I come from.
Oh.
At least not the license you're thinking of. You would say across the car.
She kind of like cast a small glance over before smiling. Okay, well, that's all I was wondering, actually. So, you have yourself a good day. And she
Right.
walked right off, back to her seat.
Well, I give you two freedom to do as you please. You've still got maybe another hour, hour and a half until the train docks. You could explore further train cars. You could be fat fucking chuds and sit there.
Oh god. Speaking of fat fucking chuds, can I
You
observe
could take a nap.
what?
I don't fucking know.
Can I can I look out the train car windows and see where we're at least? I know we're not in Stillheoul itself, but still, I'd like to get an idea.
Just like if you had looked earlier, you still see a large amount of crop fields. Maybe this was a large agriculture town, or maybe simply farmers littered the nearby area. Again, though, they were dying crop fields, whether ears of corn or fields of potatoes. They couldn't keep up with the weather anymore, so it seems like they shut down for the year.
Gotcha. Well, that's a sad sight. You didn't even have to say that out loud. What to do? What to do? Oh, yeah, the other guy left the car. I'm sure there's others to explore. That being said, he was still standing, so you would head in the direction that the other man had went. The one decorated in scars. Trying to access the other train cars to see if there was anything worth checking out.
What would Elle be doing as the other person had moved to get up?
Elle would wait a little longer. She was considering getting up and exploring just like, let me remember the name I got this. Well, I mean Jericho, but like, oh, Jared. Just like Jared had done, but she didn't want to follow behind him. It's not like she knew him, and she definitely didn't want to leave people behind her and not know exactly what they were doing. So, while biding her time, she also looked out the windows, and I'm assuming she saw the same thing on her side of the
Yes.
train, or...
Well, actually, no, sorry. On the right side of the train, as opposed to the left, you would end up seeing a hill that kind of went up and across the train windows, as currently you were turning in the train.
Oh, that's painfully bleak. She'd actually get up and... She wanted to look at the back of the train. Cause so you said we were in the last train car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is it the kind of train cars that have like that door still on the back, but it's locked,
Yes.
but it's got the window? Cause like all I'm going off of is that one movie, The Polar Express. That's like that's where my brain's going right now.
Good
Maybe
enough.
minus the snowy wasteland. She would look out the back window.
So you would go ahead and
Like,
look
get
out
up
the
and
back
look out.
window. You get this side of an endless field alongside the train tracks behind you. They were beginning to litter with water as you could see the slickness of the metal. It was almost anxiety-inducing that this thing could come off the tracks at any moment. A slight rock or maybe a really big stick could even derail the train.
She was already uncomfortable with the speed in which they were moving. Where she came from, this simply didn't exist. The fastest she had to it were deer, and she had never been on one, nor had anybody she'd known, because they ate them. They didn't ride them. It's just foolish to think that they could. It's too heavy. Much like this train on this water, and as far as she was aware, heavy things on slick things did not ever go well if they were moving this fast. She almost wished they would slow down more. She would take arriving later than she already was to slipping and derailing, and at this speed, she was sure that would probably cause some damage. More than she's used to. Regardless, she turned back around, deciding that the field behind her was a little too bland to look at. What is Rubik's Cube Man doing?
Lumos.
Lumos, yeah,
my
Lumos.
boy.
Sorry.
Lumos, at the moment, had actually pulled out a journal, not too dissimilar to the man next to him, but instead having a much more, I suppose you could say, modern look to it. It was sleek, it sort of shined in the overhead train lights. It had this, I would say, expression. It was a deep brown, and currently he was writing in it.
Is my role still in effect, or would you say it not?
No one's currently paying
Like-
attention to you.
Oh. She would carefully pick up her leather satchels, and the pile she left, actually. She would leave the pile, but she picked up the long leather, whatever it was meant to be, and set it on her shoulder, and whatever was in it wasn't long enough to touch the ceiling of the train car, but it was bigger than she was. It was like about 5.5 ish feet long. But actually, I think I wrote it down. Yeah, okay, I remembered. I remembered correctly. She would approach just behind the Rubik's Cube man as quietly as she could to
Well,
try
he's
and
sitting
peek at what he
down.
might have been. Well, I know. I mean, like, the seat where he was sitting, she was trying to stand, like, if he looked to the left, he wouldn't immediately see her.
I don't think
She was
you
just trying
understand
to
how
look over
chairs
his
work.
shoulder. Well,
Oh man.
I'm thinking they're, like, really tall ones.
So
Again,
the
I'm
chairs are facing towards the aisle, not forward or back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this kind
They're
of
not
train
like
car.
weird
Okay,
as those type
okay,
of train cars, like a metro in
okay.
a sense.
Mhm.
Never mind then, never mind. That's physically not possible for her to be doing.
Hey, just like all up next to him, standing on the chair. Looking good. Dude.
Actually, no, she's defying the laws of physics and walking on the ceiling. Got them
Sure, that
by the
would garner his
steppers.
attention somehow. Not many
Just a
people stand
stick
on the
right
ceiling.
in front of him. Just a stick. No, she would look from as far of a distance as she could for the text to still be legible, which would probably be about like 2 feet away. I'm not. My vision's awful, so
I was
I don't
about
know.
to say 2 feet. As
Whatever you would say would be good for her, because I'm not one to go off of.
you would see, he would put his pencil down. The last thing he had wrote was aspiring hunters. Something to be suspicious of. Perhaps something to warrant aggression. As when he'd put the pencil down, you'd see he used it as a bookmark as he would close it. Looking up and meeting your eyes. Something to say.
Why's he got boss music?
I think it's just a playlist, but either way.
That just scared me. I'm sorry. It genuinely scared me.
Is there something
Yes,
to
if you-
say?
She shrugged a little. No, I was just curious about what you were writing. I thought maybe you're an aspiring author too, on top of being a detective.
Perhaps your curiosity could be answered with a question instead of Snoop. How do you feel it if
Well-
I was curious as to the contents of your bag that I helped myself?
Damn.
She looked over her shoulder at her bag. Well, I don't think I'd mind that much. I'd prefer if you hadn't taken it directly off of my person. but
Oh, then perhaps the same rule applies, is that when my book is directly on my person, you should ask.
well, Sir Lumos, what is it you're writing there?
Notes.
Oh. Well, I hope your note-taking goes well. She gave a faint smile before continuing into the train car ahead, as she was pretty sure that Fulgur was too occupied writing. Or not
Reading.
reading, to be paying attention to either of them.
Let me turn it off.
Joe, moving back to your perspective, when you had begun to open the door, you could hear the lightest bit of, I would say, commotion. Fully entering and closing it behind you and entering the next train car and closing it behind you, there would be people
Blacking out.
sort of huddled around the farthest door into the next train car, the second one from the last, as people were sort of muttering. These were mostly faceless people as well, as you could hear the most faint, I would say, moans or groans of pain from the other train car ahead of you as...
So, should we intervene? Does the conductor have security?
Well, it didn't take an elephant being in the train car to tell you something ain't right. But the fact that they were all huddled near the entrance of the next car meant something was waiting, and if he wanted to get through, then he had to deal with it. But before just needlessly and blindlessly charging in, he would... You'd have to observe, pick up on the clues, prepare ahead of time. He would start walking down the train car aisle just to get a clue of what's going on. Not fully going up to the door, but also just trying to see if he could squeeze through and get a sight for himself.
That man is scary looking. What's up with all the scars across his back? Hey, don't profile him. The other men started attacking him first. If you were paying attention, you would have recognized that. But look at him. He looks like a terrorist of sorts. And that blade on the floor that he dropped.
As you would sort of stand over the other people, excuse me, getting in between the likes of folks. Looking through the train car window, you would see this, I would say, maybe a little tiny splotch of blood across it. Looking over it, you could see as a man would hit the window into the door, sort of shaking the whole train car.
Ooh.
Slowly,
Good
the
dang.
back of his head would slide down the window. With that...
Oh. Shit. That ain't no good. Not at all. Where the hell are the conductors? Just letting a street fight? Not even a street fight. What do you call it, a cargo fight? Either way.
Train fight.
Oh, damn brawl on the
Lychee,
train.
this would be when you would make it up behind Mr. Jared.
She would have heard all of this with her,
Mm-hmm.
well, her antennas, right? Would she hear anything in the other train car because of those? Or would she, like, I guess technically hear.
Impacts.
Oh.
If I had to gander, he's probably taking his anger out on some poor suckers. Turning them into sandbags.
He'd feel a light tap on his shoulder as behind him Elle was trying to look around him to see what was going on.
Hey, if I were you, I wouldn't open that door. I just wouldn't.
As if I plan
Unless
on
you're
it.
ready to take a punch or two.
Can a
I mean,
girl
you
not
can look as much as you want.
She's
but, like-
trying to, like, push him out of the way. It's not going great. She's not moving.
He would just step out of her way and push her forward and said,
She
"You see that?
stumbled a little.
The crimson red blood dripping around the fucking window?"
She was getting a good old gander at this entire scene unfolding in front of her.
I'm sure you felt it when you got in the car, too.
I heard it and
You would
felt
see as one of those large leather chairs had been taken off of the wall, and you would just hear wham as it would land against the big guy's with a bunch of scars back, as he would sort of just shrug it off.
Yeah, that man's a beast. Yo, I don't know what you ever thought was a hunter. I mean, I guess you're more thinking of the literal term of a hunter, but, just take precautions and learn that you're going to come along a lot of things like this. So, if you really want to get into the scruff, we could go through, but I'd rather just wait it out.
She,
Wait, you
she
two are
turned
hunters?
around. She had a grin on her face.
Wait, you two are hunters? Go stop!
Uh,
Go stop them! Do your job!
Hey,
Not
now,
ex-
not licensed.
Not exactly.
Time as any! Do your job! As you would just hear pleas from one of the faceless men in the tray car.
Does anybody know if he's a hunter either? He could just be,
He
honestly.
doesn't speak! Who knows?
Mr.
I, for one, think he's a terrorist! Again, he got attacked first!
Sounds like self-defense to me.
She poked, Jared.
Jared.
Jared. If we're doing anything, you first. Trust me.
Me first?
She gave like a big old grin. And like patted
were-
the leather thing on her back. The leather stick? Did she have a stick in there? It was pretty stiff. It was just a stick. She had a stick wrapped in leather.
You visibly watch as Jared got voluntold for the bajillionth time in his lifetime. And slightly rolled his shoulders. Alright, I get it. Somebody's got to do it. That being said, I'm not going in here and wanting to swing. So, keep that in mind and be prepared if things come your way, okay? He would begin to open the first door to leave the car before getting into the in-between.
Getting into the in-between, you would see as the man with a lot of scars' sword would go into the metal part of the wall beside you. It cleanly went through the sheet metal as it sort of stuck like an Excalibur. As when entering the train car with a commotion, you see a bit of a grisly sight. Little pools of blood spread across the floor in this whisked away pattern as the man with the scars is standing in the middle of 3 people. 2 on the floor, a chair, and one in the grasp of his hand, being pushed up in the air by his hand wrapped around, but nothing but his nose, forehead, and temples. As when the metal door opened and you'd enter, you got hit with the instant smell of rust accompanied by weak moans or the groans of pain. The scarred man would look back at you, a glare in his eyes and thick, viscous red blood coming from his nose, a strand connecting to his other hand that had wiped it away, whilst glistening in the train light. Don't tell me you also want to brawl.
No, none of the likes of it, as he would give a friendly wave, just tipping his cap towards him to show his polite intent as to not mess up and end up in the pile of sore losers over there to the right, kissing and making out in their own,
Various bodily fluids.
Visteria and various bodily fluids oozing all over the place.
pissed themselves.
That too. Yeah, just wanted to see what the commotion was. I'm in no means here to stop you. So, just trying to get on and, see if I can kill some time. Not like that, though, obviously. So,
You're that boy that wants to be a hunter.
I wouldn't call myself a boy. I mean, I am fairly young, actually. I'm a boy. Sorry. Didn't mean to speak out like that. Yeah, I aim to be, but also I'm starting to severely doubt if I made the right choices in life. But that doesn't matter right now. Do you mind me asking what happened at least? I'm not here to stop or start anything.
You would see
Just
as
curious, so.
the man dropped the one that was currently in his hand, sort of letting him fall to the floor in this moment as he turned his body fully towards you.
These 2 or 3 or what, 6?
As he would sort of motion behind him to 3 more people in the train car ahead of him that either seemed to be recovering or no longer able to recover.
They just decided they didn't like the way I looked.
So, did they attack you out of that? Or... I'm a bit confused. Some people claimed in the previous car you're acting out of self-defense, and others think you're a lunatic. None of that I think are true, honestly.
You don't think I was acting in self-defense?
No, I think you are. I just need to hear it from you. It is your situation that you're handling,
Then what
after
if
all,
I
and I'm an
wasn't?
outside party.
What would you do about that?
Well, you know, I'm no upholder of the law, and neither is anybody else on the train, but if I had to defend myself, I would try at least, you know? I mean, do the same as you did.
Do the same as I did.
Not on the same scale, no, I'm nothing like you, honestly. You are a work of art. I could never pull this off. Not as an insult, not as an insult. I'm stumbling on my words now, aren't I? I just want to do whatever is in the...
Of you.
Thank you. Trying to do anything in your best interest. To say.
You'd see as he would begin to step forward towards you.
I wouldn't. Jared wouldn't do anything just yet. He didn't want to be too hasty on the draw, of course. Sure, the tension was sky high. Maybe it felt like you'd be better off just jumping out of the car and just killing yourself instead of talking to this rather polite fellow, but, we must not get ahead of ourselves. That's what matters. It's situations like these that made him want to become a hunter and begin with. So, it was his duty, at least to him, to sit here and tough it out. Or diplomatic at first. And when times get tough, then we let it roll out. That being said, was El behind him in this, or is he still just in the room?
She's probably, like, by this point, like, hiding behind him. Not in fear, but, like, just not visible from behind him because she is 5'2" and 95 pounds. Like, there's not a whole lot to see.
As opposed to the 5'2", 90-pound woman behind Jared, we would see this 6'2", 330-pound man of probably pure muscle look down at Joe. He would lean with his face, sort of getting close. You could even feel the hotness of his breath. You could see the individual tears and burn scars across his lips.
And what if I was a terrorist or a maniac? Or sorry, you said lunatic.
Their words, not mine. But like I said, it's quite simply none of my business. And I'd hope we could both go our own ways, if anything. I simply wish to understand the people I meet. I don't mean to cause any problems.
Well, it's wonderful to meet you. My name is Chow Yotokubi, executioner of the Hanged Man.
quite a title you've got there. I wish I had one of my own, but you see, I'm just some nobody who knows how to swing a bat, so... I got much for me.
I see. You're awfully calm for a man. What was the phrase? Laughing in the face of death.
Well, no matter how the situation goes, as grim or desperate as it be, I believe coming in at a level head is the best start you could always give yourself. And you know, that way you just start the least problems. I like to go through the path of least resistance, if you understand what I mean.
So docile. Do you do anything for yourself?
No, actually. Pretty selfless. It's also my biggest weakness, honestly. But, you know, I'm hoping I can learn to confide with myself and, you know, maybe just get my vision out there.
And what is your vision? Educate me.
If I had to put it into words, a place where maybe we could all understand ourselves and overcome our adversities, maybe together. And if not, then... oh, well.
You sound
At least it would be a start.
Fairy tale.
Yeah. I understand what you mean, honestly. But I assure you life is no fairy tale. I mean, between me and you, we both know that.
You'd see the way that those sort of deep brown, almost black eyes would give you a glance down and upwards. So casual, such a unimpressive demeanor.
It's out of character laughing, by the way. I'm not laughing in this guy's face. I ever so snickered, it's over.
That might be my bad.
Are you laughing at me? No,
What's your name, boy?
The name's Jared. Jared Alabaster, as he would put out his hand for a handshake.
You would
And
see
you are?
as he would ignore the hand.
I already told you my name.
You're right. My apologies.
Can I ask you, Jared Alabaster? You ever killed a man?
Not yet, but I fear I've been close to it.
Oh.
Maybe
You've
I've
killed a
been...
woman.
You couldn't see it, but those burned lips almost tried to form a smile. You could hear a mimicry of laughter from those burned vocals.
Gotcha. Well, I haven't killed a woman myself, but I've seen one being on the brink of death, and that alone is enough to drive me out of my hidey hole and actually do something for once. So, I haven't killed one yet, unfortunately. Maybe you could teach me one day. I could put behind my docile ways, know what I mean? Eh?
You would see as he would stand up straight, no longer looking down at you, instead no longer looking eye to eye, rather looking down at you.
I like you. You're funny.
Thank you. You know, maybe if I get my license, I might just become the bona fide comedian. You know, hold stand-up shows. Hell, maybe be even #1 in the world. Who knows?
Ever thought of joining a revolutionary group?
You know, I have pondered that statement quite a couple times, honestly. Just to get myself on the feet, you know, join an organization, something that give me some backing. Why so?
Let's see. Well, we could always use more muscle and, I guess, humor.
good to know. I assume you guys don't have a business card or anything like that, no?
No. But we have a gathering in the city we're going to.
Gotcha. Where might that be?
It's in one of the churches of Stillheoul. What was it called once more? My memory's betraying me. Father. I'm sure I could lead you when I figure it out myself.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's fine by me. Just, if you find me, don't be afraid to say hi. And
You won't follow me?
I don't... Did you want me to follow you? I could follow you if you'd like.
If you're interested in joining the group, I could introduce you to Theodric here.
Okay. Then sure, why not? I don't see the harm in it.
And the woman behind you.
You don't have to come along, Al. But if it interests you, then...
She poked her head out from like behind like his shoulder, and she seemed like she had a pretty big grin on her face. Like she was thoroughly entertained. I could follow you, but I need to go grab my other bag.
Go.
You left your other bag.
It's full of metal. It's loud.
And you didn't ask for any help from me.
Why would I ask you for help? I don't know you.
I mean, we're strangers, but, you know, it didn't hurt to be nice. We don't gotta bump uglies or anything.
No.
Are you two looking at each other, or where are you two looking?
She's
I'd say Jared would
staring.
be looking over his shoulder, down at her.
She's still staring at the executioner and keeping at least enough awareness behind her to make sure she doesn't get, I don't know, punched in the back of the head or something.
As you looking over your shoulder and you looking at the executioner directly, you would see a sudden shadow cast over him and by extension both of you as another chair gets slammed over his shoulders and head as you would see him sort of not exactly flinch but twitch downward before his left hand would come up and back, clocking this guy in the jaw and sending him into the right side of the train.
Damn. He showed him. Holy shit.
I hate civilians.
I sure
think some
am
people
glad it
would
didn't
just
come to
be-
blows. Jeez.
Are you saying that in character?
Yeah, like muttering to herself. She kind of like looked over at the probably dented wall.
He would simply be looking down at you when you had said that.
Yeah, I hear you there. A lot of people could afford to be a lot more open-minded. I mean, so you already dealt with them, though, so they're not...
I think
Problem
dealt with's an
anymore.
understatement.
Jared would just shoot her a glare.
What?
It's not a hard glare. It's just more like a...
What? Like a shut up before we get thrown out of the train, please?
Not before you. He is in the clear. For now.
She
For
said understatement, not overstatement. It was a compliment.
Fair.
Dealing
fair
with him
enough,
was
fair
an
enough.
understatement. She's using her big girl words.
You would see as he would step to the left, retrieving the sword that had been tossed into the train car, piercing the metal, as you would hear that ripping sound of coming out of the metal, making sparks across the floor. Once more beginning to wrap it up in what seemed to be just wet cloth.
Some mighty fine armament you got there. More than where you got it.
I made it.
Yourself? Really?
All by myself.
Hell
Nothing
yeah.
but a steel beam and a couple of rocks.
That is awesome.
It was
I
extraordinarily.
haven't made my own bet.
It was extraordinarily jagged. You could clearly tell it was made. I wouldn't say professionally.
It gets the job done.
I could agree.
I yearn for the day I make my own bet. But for now, I'm just stuck with it's got me through the hardest of my times. Nothing crazy. He would pull it out of his messenger bag, this old slugger, wooden. Its finish, sleek for now, but also still showing signs of wear from usage. It's old and true. It's nothing particularly fancy, but I hold some nice feelings towards it.
I like the simpler things.
Yep, I get that.
Elle's hand reached around and knocked on the bat.
What's up?
She,
we look over to Elle.
she just kept knocking on it.
You can hold it for now, just... Yeah. Is there a problem with that?
You have wood strong enough to do damage?
Have you seen a bat hit a baseball?
What the fuck is a baseball?
It seems she is uneducated.
That's okay. You know, once we get off this train, if I can find the nearest inning, maybe you can come along, just watch a game. For like, you know, maybe
What?
a quarter or two.
I used about.
Yeah, she lost the plot.
I remember the sound it made when it hit bone.
It's pretty reliable. And you don't want to be on the receiving end, I'll tell you that.
What was your highest speed ball you've pitched, pitcher? Or better, I never watched baseball.
I think the highest I've hit is maybe 100 mile per hour at best. But that's just because the pitchers suck at throwing.
Impressive.
I know some people can hit up to 200. That's something.
I'm
Personally,
impressive that you can still reach that high with limitations of other people.
Oh yeah. It's okay. I'm sure there's some bigger leagues out here. They'll definitely have some crazy fastballs around in Stillheoul.
You would watch as the executioner would sort of step into the middle of the room, using his feet to sort of nudge and kick aside 2 or 3 or 4 of the unconscious guys before sitting down in one of the farthest right seats. Sort of just sitting there, the sword upon his back, taking up 3 seats on its own behind him, as he sort of just stared forward blankly.
Seems like he's had his fill of fun. And so have I. Internal monologue. That being said, though, Chow seemed like a nice chap. And, you know, just sticking out for himself. Not many people do that. So, as far as he was in his books, he was pretty fine. That being said, still had some more cars to look around. Some time to linger and dilly-dally. I don't know about you, El. You would look back on over. But I'm gonna head to the next car.
She stared ahead for a moment. How much time had passed?
Maybe a half hour by now.
I should go check back on my bag. I don't think either of the 2 people in there would steal it, but I think think. Ah, yeah, he might snoop through my bag. Yeah, okay.
Lumos?
She kind of just turned around. Oh yeah,
Good
that was
luck
his
with that.
name.
You really ought to get better at that, you know? First impressions and all.
What names?
Names, yeah. Name keeping, namesake.
Names
Just
are
like Chow,
words.
my friend over here.
Names are
Names are
words, and
words.
I think actions make better first impressions than words.
It's
Have
about the
fun now.
meaning behind those words.
She, she was not listening
Gone.
anymore. She was
Gone.
not listening anymore. She was
Forget about
heading
that.
back.
Hmm.
You would head back
That's a
2
good thought.
train cars back. It seemed like in the first train car you entered going backwards, a bunch of the people had sort of become docile, confused, or maybe in a shock, as most of them were probably expecting you two to get you guys' ass whooped. Or vice versa, or whatever.
A fight.
As
Fuck no!
when you would make it back into the other train car, what would end up be seen as the exact same scene in which you had left it in.
She
Go ahead, Al.
walked over to her bag and picked it up. The sound of metal hitting metal. Words escaping me right now, but the metal colliding against metal, it was a little loud, but whatever was in there wasn't loud or heavy enough to be too obnoxiously loud.
Is the commotion
Just some light
over?
clickings.
I didn't want to deal with it myself.
Huh? Oh, yeah, some dude called the executioner, I guess, just got jumped and then, I don't know. I don't think anyone's dead.
You'd see his eyes sort of purse into this concerned configuration, eyebrows raising at you as he'd go back to writing in his book.
She walked past him, this time not... The fuck was that? Sorry. I heard something upstairs. She would walk past him, this time not looking at his notebook, but pausing for a moment. Wait a minute. If you're an investigator, why didn't you go and help?
I'm off the clock.
Me, when I found out investigators don't
So-
stop the problem, they investigate the problem.
You're not gonna, like, look? No, you'll see it when you
Not
come
my
out of the
assignment.
train. Fair enough.
Lumos, my
She-
man.
She shrugged and didn't ask questions and continued back through the cars. The sack kind of carried over her shoulder like that sad little ant with the stick. The bag.
Homeless
Her
ant.
her long leather thing, her stick. We'll call it a stick. Her stick was resting on, like, against her back, kind of like a crossbody strap was holding it against her. But the bag didn't have any such straps, and she just kind of carried it like the sack that it was over her shoulder. Apparently not using the stick to her advantage. As she, continued onward.
Had Jared done anything
Jared
this
can
time?
see the war crimes in the next train car, I guess. Whatever might be going on over there.
Jared would probably have given Chow some last minute bygones. Making sure he said his name right and whatnot before probably moving on to the next car. Give him some finger guns on the way out, because why not?
As you would go ahead and move into the next car, this seemed to be first class. It was the last train car before the conductor's bay, as it had these nice round tables that were bolted into the floor with these red cloths across it. Open food that seemed to be served nearby as people were dining. They just seemed entirely unconcerned with the working class and what they were doing, as they would not be bothered by your presence entering. A lot of faceless chaps in the nearby area, not exactly any people of interest beside the typical rich man wearing nice watch, or maybe older woman with a nice pair of glasses. A Pinot in hand.
Lady Geist
Wow.
sitting in the corner somewhere.
Oh my god, shut up. Shut
How
up.
did you do?
I do?
Do what? Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I bid you adieu. Do what?
Do fucking good.
Imagine that's
Well,
the canon interaction.
where else they
just
gonna
gets
be?
trolled.
Dude. Well, Jared could only hope that he would reach these people's level of unbotheredness from what just happened in the last cart. But then again, it stems from a place of novelty and stature and status compared to just minding your own business or not feeling like you should put your life on the line for the day. So, regardless of that, did look like a nice feast, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't welcome to it. So, he would just try and make his way through the cart and probably see what's in the first train car. Unless that would be the engine itself. And he wanted to
That
bug
would
the
be
conductor.
conductor's office, yes. Do you want to go meet the
Was there any
conductor?
space? Hi, conductor. How's your day going?
Good dab with the conductor.
Oh,
I know
this
if you heard
lever?
the commotion about 2 cars down, but woo-wee, man, that was crazy.
Oh, this big old lever right here? What does it do? Stop the train. Can I just... Fucking good.
Go flying off the
Anyway.
tracks. The sheer friction of the
Fucking
water.
feet
Yep,
down.
everyone's dead. Time to make a new character, guys.
Thus, Jared was no more. Is
7
there anywhere
months
to
late
sit...
for the exam. Can't wait.
Coded. Is there anywhere to sit in the car?
In this one, there are a few open seats, but this is first class. Did you pay for a first class ticket? Who's gonna check?
No, wait.
There is a open sort of
Oh,
booth
Mom.
along the wall. Rather than
you
having
doing
those
back
facing
upstairs?
the aisle chairs, they had facing the aisle booths because they were fancy. Made out of this
Oh,
fine
wait.
red leather that was dyed, that had the felt on the back that was, you know, majorly there so you couldn't see the filth inside of it, but...
I think he'll take a seat there, regardless that he didn't have a first class ticket.
you'd
Yeah,
absolutely
just
be
see how
fine.
long it'll take for someone to usher him out. Go
Okay.
back with that murderer.
Would you enter this car ahead as well?
Me?
Because
Oh,
you said
yeah,
you were
Yes.
heading back.
Oh my god.
You could either sit in the room
Um,
awkwardly with 7 unconscious dudes and chow, or you could move forward and go with Jared. Or something else entirely.
She's gonna look through the window of the train car, see that it's just a bunch of rich people. Keep her ears and antennas and
Antennae.
things. She's just gonna be aware of what's happening in that car, at least vibrationally wise. I don't know if there's a commotion. She's sure she'll hear it. And in the meantime, she's actually gonna peek at the bodies of the people that decided to beat up on Mr. Can't pronounce his name.
Chow.
Chow? It's just
Like-
Chow?
Chow Yotoku?
Chow, like,
Oh, I think
Chow.
it all sounded like one word.
his first
So I
name
thought
is
it was
Chow.
like, I thought his
Like Chow's from
entire-
Sonic.
I don't watch Sonic or play Sonic.
They're the cute
But
little thing.
Chow. Chow. Got it. Okay. Chow. Is it spelled CH?
Ayo.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I've
These things.
never seen those things before in my life.
As you would look at the men on the floor, they seem to be common petty thugs, whether they have their, aristocratic hat on, the little mean mug Irish cap, or perhaps one of them had a pack of cigarettes that was now crushed against their chest. None of them seem particularly unique. You would probably see each of them 4 times over if you just walked into a gas station.
What's a gas station? Do they have
Going back to
anything
the
like
watering
money?
hole. Why don't
Do
you?
they have any
Are you gonna
money?
run their pockets?
Wow.
Just checking.
Are you gonna run their pockets?
Do they have any money? Take a good look and
Before
ask that question
she
again.
decides that she's actually gonna look over at Chow.
He is in his own world. He hasn't moved a single inch, not even breathed, since you left the car originally. He is staring forward, legs spread in that sort of hands on knees, sitting down. Maybe meditating? His eyes open?
Oh.
She kind of looked at him and then looked at the bodies. Did they all look like they might have been like well, I'm assuming they were all associated with each other.
There wasn't
Do they
necessarily
just-
a common theme between them. Other than,
Okay.
well, they just looked like people. No, I guess there is a common theme between all of them. They all got bruises, broken bones, or bloody lips.
There's something, yeah, something's busted up. She thought about it, then decided against it. She didn't want to commit a crime as soon as she arrived here, and then risk not being able to take the whole exam, and then that would be a really awkward walk home. That would be a really awkward walk home. Like a really long, awkward, sad Spider-Man walking on the roof while everything falls around him kind of walk home. So she decided, well, it's boring here. It's probably more boring in the car behind that. She didn't want to be stuck with Meat Man and Detective Man. So she might as well go into the next train car.
I'll allow you to
Hi,
interact
conductor.
while I go take a piss.
Alrighty.
I'm in a booth. I'm in the booth right next to the door. Take that. Jersey L. How do you spell her name?
L? Just L. it's the letter L.
I don't know. Ain't no way we're in Death Note right now. No,
No, it's not a death note. She said
I'm-
that's the best translation she had.
L. Anyways, upon seeing L,
And her big sack of metal.
he would clear his throat just to gain her attention. Hey, you do know the next car is the conductor's office, right?
What now?
So, if you were to head from this room to the next, you would be speaking with the person operating this locomotive.
This loco.
Train. The train. Locomotive is just like, think of it like its official name, but shorthand is
Alrighty,
train.
I'm gonna just lay this out here. She walked over and took a seat as far from him as she could without also sitting right next to another person.
It's a booth. It's whatever.
She looked at him. If we are going to be interacting further from this interaction on this train, please use small words.
What's up with that? Not to like insult your intelligence or your IQ or anything. I'm just wondering where you come from.
Uh, well, let's see. Let me think. Let me think.
I think that was actually the
The
longest piss I've ever took.
closest.
Sorry.
Ew. The closest city I think you might know of is Svalbard. Svalbard? Sval.
DM, let me make
Nope.
a.
You
Aww.
don't. You don't.
I don't. Okay, fair enough. Never. Heard
It
that
is a
place.
real place, guys. It's a real place. She just doesn't live there. It's a real place. I didn't make it up.
Mm. That's funny. I've never heard of that place though.
Why am I
honestly.
being atted in general?
You're not being honest.
What? Hey! Wait! That's rude! That's rude! She's not stupid!
Continue.
I love this dude.
The voices. The voices.
You
Continue.
said Spellbart? That doesn't
Spellbart.
sound familiar to me.
It's not in
least.
this country. Country? State. State. It's not in the state. Wait.
Gee, I bet you don't even know what's left up and writing down, huh?
That's not nice.
Oh. It's okay. Doesn't hurt to be clueless.
I think it does.
No, not really. Not now, at least. We're not even in the thick of it. Your lucky cow didn't damn rip your head off. Everybody knows. God. So brain running. You call me brain running. Fuck you.
I need to stop doom scrolling. Okay.
So
Whatever you're meaning by that, just bear with me. I'm learning.
I will, but most won't. So just
Well, I'm-
expect that to come.
Not exactly
Anything.
planning on hanging out with most people. If they don't understand me, then they don't understand me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well
it was
said.
this saying. I saw it in a paper. Here for wait. Never mind.
What, you're here for a good time, not a long time?
That! Yeah, that one.
He would rustle his scarf. Trying to get it back into orientation. We're looking back at this hopeless, poor soul. She doesn't have a damn clue what she's getting herself into. And that's saying something.
She has all the clues, just not enough brain cells to decipher them.
So, what do you think is the most complex thing you know about? Like, if you had to know things in out of your pool of knowledge, what do you think is, without a doubt, this out of your world thing? Outside of the train that we're on right now.
There's a lot of things.
Just
I
name
mean,
one.
outside
Any.
of this train, God, who knows? I mean, if this contraption goes this fast, like, is this like the fastest thing you guys have, or like, is there faster
can
things? If there's faster things, then why are they so fast? Why do you need to get places so fast? Why not just make longer deadlines? But if they're not that fast, I mean, are there smaller things? I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, trains do get pretty fast. The only downside is outside of the rails that they ride on, they don't have full freedom of their maneuverability. So, what you would think of is called a car, which is also another
That's a
means of
simple word.
transportation. Yeah, I guess. But if you want the hard version of it, it's called an automobile.
What did I just tell you?
It's quite simple, though. The word is split into two parts: auto meaning automatic, and mobile meaning mobility. So, just sounds like a lot. Either way, that gives you a lot more freedom. Just depends if you want to run into a tree or not and destroy everything you have. Those can get pretty fast, too. Do you know what a city is?
I know what
I'm
those
assuming
are.
you're coming from a small town.
Village.
Okay. But do you know what a city is? Like,
Yes, I
high-rise
know what a city
buildings,
is.
hotels, roads,
I've learned that
cars, tons of
much.
people. Have you seen it with your own eyes?
How do you think I got here? What do you think? There's this train runs over whatever sea is over by wherever I came from. I just followed people that sounded like they knew where they were going. That's probably why it took me so long to get here.
I just want to make sure you're not 100% clueless is all. Not saying I have all the answers either. It's just you might have a little bit of learning to do. That's
Huh.
okay, though.
Well, that's why I'm taking a test, isn't it?
Yeah,
She gave like a big
and we're
old
both
confident smile and like looked so confident.
6 months late to it. Keep in mind.
Well, hey, I traveled across a long distance. What's your excuse?
Just had to make sure some people were okay. Kinda got washed up in it all.
You really don't do anything for yourself.
No, I don't. But I'm trying. Hopefully when all is said and done, past all the hunter shenanigans and stuff, I hope I could confidently say I've done enough things to realize that, but it's okay. I'm pretty content where I am right now.
She kind of leaned back against the booth for a moment and thought for another minute before eventually speaking up again. You know, you shouldn't be telling that much stuff to people you've just met.
Well, fair point, but seeing how we're the only late test takers and everybody else were regular passengers isn't hurt, and I don't doubt this won't be the last time I'm seeing you, so.
Well, I mean, you sure did spill your life story to Big Man in the last car. Or was that just because you were shitting your pants? No blame here! No blame here.
If you think that's my life story, we're just getting started. But, I was just talking to him, if anything. It's nothing like getting to connect to a person and understand where they're coming from. Plus, not everything has to be smoke and mirrors, blow everyone's heads off. An eye for an eye. I'm no pacifist, of course, but I'd like to not fight if I don't have to.
Well, if that's the case, then if you don't mind, I do have a more personal question for you. Why are you taking the test? Why are you trying to get your hunter's license?
It's a good question. I'm trying to find myself more than anything, I guess. I wanted to be a part of the big leagues, get into a nice, team, maybe transfer, play some high-stake games. But
Oh,
I
is
never
this
really got
this
that chance.
baseball thing you were talking about?
Baseball, not spaceball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sport. It's pretty fun. When you're playing it, I don't know but watching it, I wouldn't want to get all up in arms over somebody missing a ball that could potentially break a bone or two. But it's kind of always been there for me, if anything. Something I did in my pastime, and just haven't stopped since.
She kind of gave him the nod. Didn't understand. Like, right over her head. Man, just you wait till she learns how this world works. Just you wait. She will be a force to be. She yeah. That was me. That was all me. I'm sorry. My brain's not working.
A force to be reckoned with?
Thank you.
Bruh. Anyways. I'm sure you don't have any interesting stories to tell me, do you? Or not ones you're willing to.
Correct.
Gee. This might be the most boring train ride I've ever been on.
Why don't you go steal some food or something? It's not like anybody's really even noticed we're here.
No, they know we're here. I'm sure they know. I mean, we literally walked in the cart.
Well,
Even then.
do you think they care?
Yes, they do. I wouldn't know. And even to begin with, that's not our food. So, we don't have a say in it. Unless you want to ask one of the fair passengers and see if they want to give anything to you out of the goodness of their hearts.
They don't look like the... They might have a lot of goodness. I mean, some of them do look pretty... full of goodness. She kind of, like, moved her hands in front of her and like... moved them, like in front of her and then outwards, kind of like she was calling them fat, but she didn't know the word for it. Nor did she want to be that rude. So she said they're full of goodness.
I get what you're putting down. Just know that wealth doesn't translate to kindness. And
Oh, no,
usually
that's exactly... I mean, you can't get that full of goodness if you're giving it to other people, so...
Yeah. Ballins, this is a booth, right? There's no window behind this.
There's not.
Damn.
No windows to look out of. Sorry,
Stop
guess you're
talking
gonna have
with
to
this
look at the
goddamn
weird
mom.
bug lady in front of you. Very unfortunate. You can count the little antenna on her... Antenna. You can count the little... whatever they're called. I don't know.
So, do you actually use your antennae, or are they just there for show?
She kind of looked at you with almost a mild offendedness in her eyes. I use them
Is there something
all
I
the
said?
time. I can't not use them. They function. They're like, you know how you can hear things that sometimes you don't want to hear? It's not like you can just turn off your ears. You can't, well, I mean, I guess you could plug them, but I can't plug these. I can't turn them off. So yes, I do use them.
Jared would just give her a look. Not one of the malice or anything. He was just observing. His right hand outstretching forward towards her head before slightly
It was
poking
quickly
the
smacked.
antenna. Oh, man.
Do you normally go around just poking people in the eyes and the ears, or is that just a you thing?
No, not entirely. Especially not unprovoked. Just wondering was all. And we're way past that stage, so... It's the worst that could happen. You know? What, I touch them and you slap me on the face and we never see each other again? It's not really much to lose right now.
That is some strange logic, sir.
People are weird. That's why they're fascinating.
And for the record, they feel rubbery. Not fuzzy. They look fuzzy, they're not. Is your curiosity
Yeah.
sated? Yeah? Good. Great.
Not exactly. How could I trust your word? I wouldn't know until I do it myself, but it's okay.
She was
it's not
leaning
welcome.
her
I
head
get it.
as far back as she could by this point.
His hand was out of the picture as soon as you slapped it away. It's back to holding him in his lap.
Are we there yet? This is a really, really long train ride.
Insane.
Right, are long.
You get used to it. You get used to it.
I mean, if you want
I
this
don't know,
session to be over, we can let this session be over.
Oh, I thought. Okay,
Nah.
never mind. Never mind. I thought this was like just the beginning of the session, and we were dragging it out.
Oh! This is the session. I asked if you guys wanted a session 1 or a pre-session. You guys said a pre-session.
Oh, okay.
Here.
I'm smart.
Well, I mean, since you asked me the personal question first, then what's your reason for becoming a hunter? And do you even understand what it means to be a hunter? Because it doesn't seem like you have a really thought-out idea about it.
She kind of raised her eyebrows at you. I want to be a hunter. So I'm getting this hunter license so that I can go hunt more things.
And you remember what Folger told you, right? How you don't need a hunter license to be a hunter.
Well,
least the
there's certain
occupation of a
things you
hunter.
can't exactly hunt without some serious leeway.
Okay, I mean, I understand what you're putting down, but I feel like you've got the wrong license in mind.
No. This is exactly what I'm needing.
You're sure?
What, are you trying to be the 1 in 100,000? 100,000.
Well, we're not the 1 in 100,000s. In fact, our chances are probably even more slim since we're 6 months late. But even then, you have to try anyways, and it's not uncommon for people to reapply and try again the next year. So, here's hoping I don't have to, but I'll give it my all, unless it kills me.
What was that, Apollion's?
Nothing.
I don't trust that. Well, whatever you may think, I know what I need, and I'm going to do what I can to get it. And I answered your question, so...
He just gave you a look that showed he still wasn't fully convinced, but it was whatever. The moment would pass.
Elle would kind of shift her stick off of her back and set it in her lap. And that's about all she did. Unless you have more to ask her. She doesn't know what else to talk about, and nor do I.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. I think Jared's gonna take a snooze, honestly. He's just gonna close his eyes. And imagine there isn't a mafia lady that doesn't know what she's doing next to him.
Wow, that's really nice. That's really
Alright.
nice of you to say.
In that case, I believe on the perfect 2-hour mark, we can end session. Your prelude, known as Late Entry, Later Entrees.